What's good, everybody? Hopefully, you're off to a good week. Happy Hump Day, as they say. If you've made it to Wednesday, made it this far, you got the week. You got the week beat, folks. In case you don't know, I am the host of Real Talk for Real Men, Lee Black, and from time to time, I like to pop in and do my thing in terms of commentary on things that I want to talk about. This is one of those moments, folks. But I want to say first and foremost, if you haven't already, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'm on YouTube and Facebook under Real Talk for Real Men. There are some other derivatives of that, but make sure you check my joint out, Real Talk, the number 4, Real Men. I am the host that's the opinionated type cat that say it how I feel it and own it and stand on it 10 toes down, as they say. And you know, from time to time, I like to give my commentary on all things that's happening. And I always like to say that these are the opinions of Lee Black and Lee Black alone. They do not necessarily reflect those of those who appear on my channel, on my team, and who is part of the family. This is me saying all of the shit that I want to talk about. With that said, I am going to be very opinionated as always, and I always ask for a little bit of grace. Sometimes some things I say are funny, but always I hope that you come to my channel with the understanding as to one bedrock of my show is we'll agree to disagree without being disagreeable. What am I talking about tonight, folks? Tyler Perry. What a difference a week makes. Literally last week, Tyler Perry, the billionaire mogul, was sitting on top of the world. He had the number 1 movie in the world, Straw. And I went and I did my own commentary and did a review of the movie. I hated it, in case you didn't know. In fact, I haven't found too many African-American men that actually enjoyed it. It just was not for me, but that's not what this is about. In fact, if you just go back a week ago, and we had the BET Awards, and Tyler Perry was prominently featured there when he came on stage. And he made a statement that I thought was interesting at the time. I just didn't know how far it would go. Tyler Perry, on full display on the BET stage, made a comment. If you don't know, go back and watch it on YouTube. He says, "I have made more millionaires than the economy." Basically, I'm paraphrasing here. And in many ways, he wasn't bragging, but he was stating the fact that he has always uplifted and done for Black people, done for his people. And so in the context of that light of the BET Awards, he was basically saying that, you know, hey, I am my brother's keeper. Well, here we are, 1 week later, and in case you've been under a rock, Tyler Perry is now facing the full wrath of the Me Too movement. He is now facing legal troubles of the likes of P. Diddy, of the likes of R. Kelly, and any of those who have been ensnared and caught in that wicked trap of being accused of sexual heinous crimes. An actor who was on one of his shows, Derek Dixon, has accused Tyler Perry in a $200 million lawsuit. He accusing the media mogul of quid pro quo sexual harassment, sexual battery, and retaliation, among other accounts. Take the time, if you would, if you aren't familiar with this, and go check out some of the texts that have already been released, which I thought is very interesting. So he's already being tried in the public, as they do. But what's so interesting to me about this is the fact that P. Diddy is in the fight of his life right now. We literally are fucking 3 weeks into his trial. The prosecution just rested. And now, starting on Friday, I think P. Diddy's defense will begin. And who knows how long that'll last. So over the last 3 weeks or so, P. Diddy has been raked over the coal by every kind of fucking heinous sexual deviancy you can imagine. And everybody's been silent for the most part. But it's no fun when the rabbit got the gun, as they say. Now that we have someone such as upstanding as Tyler Perry, who by all accounts has been regarded as damn near blameless. He is a man of God. He has, up till now, had no skeletons in his closet that have come out. He is widely loved. He has contracts and deals with multiple platforms on television, Netflix, and the like. And he's estimated to be over $1 billion as far as his net worth. And now he's being accused of some of the same shit that we see others facing. And I, for one, am so interested to see how this is going to play out. Will he shrink and hide like so many do? Or will he stand up and fight? When Jay-Z's name was mixed in with the Diddy shit, Jay-Z did what I would have done. He came out immediately and fought back with everything under his boat. And you don't hear too much about that. His name is still whispered, but Jay-Z made it known, you fuck with me, you fucking with the best. I'm coming for you. We've yet to hear from Tyler Perry. Only his lawyers are simply saying that they're saying it's a scam. They said Tyler will not be shaken down, and we are confident that these fabricated claims of harassment will fail. Fuck the lawyer talk. I want to hear what Tyler Perry has to say. And who is the person who's accused him? In case you don't know, go look him up. Derek Dixon. Pictures out there. One of the things that if you're going to make these claims, stand on it. Your face should be plastered out there for all to see. Now, in case you don't know, he filed this civil lawsuit in Los Angeles County, and he already has asked for a jury trial. In many ways, he wanted to kind of throw this shit out there, see if he could get paid $260 million. And let's talk about some of the things that he's talking about. Now, he's been on Tyler Perry's show, The Oval, which I don't watch any of Tyler Perry's shows, but I find some of this stuff that's interesting about this whole thing. You know, if you read about it, Tyler Perry, if you look into the story, he claimed he met, Derek Dixon rather claimed he met Tyler Perry in 2019 at his house. And, you know, he goes on to this elaborate story, how they became friends. But what's so funny about this is he claimed that Perry assaulted him at his home in January of 2020. Let me repeat that, folks. This actor says he met Tyler Perry in 2019 when Tyler Perry was opening up his studios here in Atlanta. They became friends, and coming out to visit Tyler Perry's home, he claimed that he was sexually assaulted in Tyler Perry's home. And he goes on to talk about how he was sleeping and he drank too much because they was talking, I guess, about acting. And he woke up and Tyler Perry was in his bed touching his thigh. I can't make this shit up. You go read it. That he was touching his thigh. Now, that's a grown-ass man. This happened supposedly in January of 2020 and then again on June of 2021. So let's stop the presses right there, folks. If you are a man or woman that's grown and somebody sexually assaults you, how the fuck did they get to do it twice? On one occasion, January of 2020, and then they get to do it again in June of 2021. Folks, help me make sense of this shit. How the fuck can somebody touch you in an unwanted way in January of 2020, and you let a year and a half go by without saying anything, and you take your monkey ass back and still deal with the person and get assaulted again unless you want to be touched? What the fuck are we talking about, people? And even if you read the text that's been released, it's too fucking halfway feminine. Dude, look, I don't know, truthfully, whether Tyler Perry likes pussy, ass, dick, or he fucks with animals. I don't know. We all been speculating for all these many years. But what I do know is whatever was transpiring amidst Texas, it was two grown fucking men talking back and forth. Nothing was explicit. You can imply from it whatever you want. But wait a minute, you want me to believe that a grown-ass man that you saved from Texas that's damn near 6 years old, and you coming forward now about some shit that happened to you 6 years ago because a man touched your thigh, and you want $260 million of his money because it's caused you so much harm? What the fuck are we talking about, people? The guy goes on to talk about how it's caused him stress and his stomach hurt and some more shit, all that he went through. Well, last time I checked, dude, you're a grown-ass man. If, you know, he's saying he suffered from severe depression, anxiety, stomach pains, and nausea. and been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. You motherfucker, you act like you had gone to war, that you went to Afghanistan because a man touched you on your thigh. Nowhere so far in here are we hearing that he stuffed his big black dick down your throat, or he bent your skinny white ass over and stuffed it up your ass. You're talking about he touched you, and it was quid pro quo because he indicated that if you keep working for him and you really didn't want to turn him off. So you worked for this man for 5 years, folks. He worked on Tyler Perry show Oval for 5 years. And when you now no longer with the show, you claim that you lost close to $400,000. So he was actually paying you handsomely. And in your own texts, you jokingly talked about what you were willing to do if you could win an Oscar. But here we are. It's awfully auspicious that you waited right to all these many years to Tyler Perry climb to the top of the pinnacle to coming forth now with claims of sexual harassment. You lying motherfucker. I said it about Cassie. I'm saying it about you. I stand on this. I despise everything about the Me Too movement. And it's time for this shit to stop. We've crossed over the line so far now that this Me Too shit is gone beyond women, where it was originally intended for women who didn't have a voice and who've been afraid of their attackers. And it's turned into a fucking witch hunt where now even grown fucking men coming forth claiming that they've been scared for 5 years and only now you found your voice. And that for all of these years that it happened to you, even though you was working, motherfucker, even though you was cashing his checks, motherfucker, even though you was shining brightly on TV, that now that you're no longer on his show, that somehow now your stomach hurt, you got anxiety, and you depressed. So much so that it's just now occurring to you that remember the time this man touched me on my thighs when I was sleeping in his fucking mansion, in his bed, not paying rent as a guest, and that's what gave you anxiety and PTSD, you lying motherfucker, you. I would have respected you 1,000 times more if you had just come forward and said that I sucked his dick and now I think he owed me some money because he promised me something. But to be putting this bullshit on some Me Too, you worse than all of these fucking people. I despise the entire movement. I hope Tyler Perry stands up for himself. I hope he fights this with every part of his being, and I hope he reverses it and drags your ass through the court. It's time for this shit to stop, people. This is a conspiracy in many ways against prominent black men, especially to come forth and destroy them. Folks, sometime where there's smoke, there's fire. Michael Jackson is worth more dead than he ever was alive. Right now, he is the highest grossing entertainer and he's fucking dead. Michael Jackson's estate has made more money than Taylor Swift and Beyonce ass put together. But he didn't start to be called Wacko Jacko until they wanted his catalog. He owned the Sony catalog, which included the Beatles music. Hence, Wacko Jacko, child molestation charges that dogged him his entire career till the man died. Bill Cosby single-handedly revived the sitcom and is responsible for every popular sitcom and in the genre as we know it today. Yes, that Bill Cosby, who owned Coca-Cola and owned very much a lot of stock in NBC. And it's only when he wanted to purchase NBC that all of a sudden, here come trumped up charges from 20 and 30 years ago from some dog-faced white bitches who said that he put something in their drink, even though fucking Mr. Playboy Mansion himself, Hugh Hefner, made his entire name off of having bunnies in the house, but Cosby got convicted for it. R. Kelly sits in jail rotting as we speak and possibly dealing with a death threat and locked in solitude because they want this man's catalog. P. Diddy is fighting for his life right now because, folks, he has started to want to revolutionize politics and start a separate political party. Folks, this is not conspiracy. Sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. And you're entitled to think what you want to think. But at the end of the day, it's still about money, people. It's a money grab in every sense of the word. It's modern day McCarthyism for people to be able to come forward fucking years later and talk about what they were touched and this, that, and even Diddy himself. After all these many weeks, all we've learned about P. Diddy is that he freaky as fuck. But I have seen no crime. And so Tyler Perry, you have an opportunity here, my man, to stand up and put a nail in this fucking coffin like nobody's business. Tyler Perry's valued over $1 billion, but I want to show you guys that's something funny, because when we hear that a lot of times, it's very misleading when they tell you that, especially in a black person, it's worth $1 billion. How they get to that valuation, according to Forbes, Perry has $300 million in cash and investments, $320 million from his catalog of movies, shows, and plays, etc. $280 million for his 330-acre Tyler Perry Studios, $60 million for his BET equity, and $40 million in valuation in his homes and toys. So do the math. When you add all of that stuff up, that's how they get to the fact that this person is over $1 billion. Why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because when you hear a lot of times that a black person is a billionaire and all of a sudden the Me Too hits them hard, don't be surprised now if this shit drags out in the next few months, that all of a sudden everything he owns, the value of it will plummet like a fucking rock. All his commitments, his tie-ins, this is purposeful, folks. And when you look at the fact that in cash and investments, he really only has maybe $300 to $400 million, don't be surprised, folks, before the year is out, is if he drops from a bona fide billionaire to all of a sudden now he's down to $400 or $500 billion. It happened to Diddy. It happened to Kanye. And so when you speak out against certain things, or when they come for that ass, they come for that ass. Tyler Perry, you have an opportunity before this shit gets out of hand. This dude is fucking with your name. And I tell people this all the time. You only get one name. Now that your name is sullied, now that you are being accused of sexual harassment, there will always be an asterisk next to your name. Don't try to play the good guy here. It's time to take the gloves off and come for that motherfucker with both barrels blazing and destroy him and everything he stands for. Because the truth of the matter is, Tyler, from this point forward, there will always be shit on your name. And you have worked a hell of a lot pulling yourself from your bootstraps, from being homeless and some more shit to get to this place you are. And somebody is shitting on your name, on your reputation, and it's time to not play nice. You're going to have people that stand with you, and you're going to have those that will say, yeah, he probably did it. And so this dude is coming for you. This is not the time to be friendly. This is the time to show what you're made of. And I, for one, hope Tyler Perry stands up. Whatever you like, whatever your sexual orientation is, you're entitled to do that. I don't give a damn about that at all. But I hate the fact that your name now is mixed up with this bullshit. And I pray and hope for your sake that you stand up and scream from the loudest top of the hill about your innocence. But more than that, I hope you take it to this motherfucker and destroy him with everything you got. Anyway, that's my take. I'm Lee Black. That's what I feel. God bless. Everybody have a great rest of your evening and have a great holiday Juneteenth weekend, as they say. Peace and love.